Do you find yourself waking up multiple times a night to go to the bathroom? Does that urge hit you just as you're drifting off to sleep, leaving you tossing and turning for hours afterwards? It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? That interrupted sleep can leave you feeling exhausted all day, irritable, and just not quite yourself. You might wonder if this is just part of getting older, something you simply have to live with. But what if I told you that some seemingly harmless things you do every single night before you even close your eyes could be major culprits? There's a hidden connection between certain evening habits and how your prostate behaves throughout the night. It's not just about what you drink right before bed. Although that's part of it. We're going to look at 5 specific habits, things you might not even think twice about, that could be affecting your prostate and disrupting your much-needed sleep. These aren't complicated medical procedures or expensive treatments. They're simple, everyday things that once you're aware of, you can easily adjust. Understanding these connections can make a real difference in getting a more restful night's sleep and feeling better during the day. Stay with me, because we're going to uncover these 5 habits. And I promise, watching to the end will reveal something that might truly surprise you. Let's dive right into the first habit that might be sabotaging your sleep and bothering your prostate overnight. It's something many of us do without thinking. A routine wind-down activity. But depending on what it is, it can have a significant impact on your late-night beverage choices. Now, you might immediately think of cutting off fluids entirely. But that's not always the best approach. And it's certainly not the whole story. The issue isn't just the volume. It's also what you're drinking and when. For many men over 60, the prostate is already becoming larger, a common and often benign condition called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. This enlargement can press on the urethra, making it harder to empty your bladder completely. When you add certain fluids or drink them too close to bedtime, you're essentially putting extra pressure on a system that's already under strain. Think about it this way. Your bladder is like a balloon. As it fills, signals go to your brain telling you it's time to go. Normally, this is a gradual process, and your bladder can hold a good amount before the urge becomes urgent. But with an enlarged prostate, that signal can become more frequent and more intense, especially when the bladder is filling relatively quickly. And that's where your late-night drinks come in. Let's talk about the usual suspects. First up, anything with caffeine. That includes coffee, tea, even some iced teas, and many sodas. Caffeine is a diuretic. What does that mean? It means it makes your kidneys produce more urine. So, if you have a cup of decaf tea, or a small soda after dinner, or worse, right before you head to bed, you're actively telling your body to fill your bladder up faster. This can lead to waking up much sooner with a stronger urge than you would otherwise. It's not just about staying awake. It's about rapidly increasing the liquid load your bladder has to handle while you're trying to sleep. Even a small amount of caffeine can have this effect. And for some, the impact lasts for several hours. So, that evening coffee or post-dinner soda could be directly contributing to those multiple trips down the hallway during the night. Then there's alcohol. Oh, alcohol. A relaxing glass of wine with dinner. A beer while watching TV. It feels like a nice way to unwind. Right, but alcohol is also a diuretic. Similar to caffeine. Increasing urine production. On top of that, alcohol can interfere with your sleep quality itself. While it might make you feel sleepy initially, it disrupts the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep later in the night. This disrupted sleep can make you more aware of your bladder signals, meaning you're more likely to wake up when your bladder is only partially full, rather than sleeping through until it's more distended. Furthermore, alcohol can irritate the bladder lining in some individuals, increasing urgency and frequency. So, that evening, nightcap is doing a double whammy, increasing how quickly your bladder fills and making you more likely to wake up when it does. Fruit juices, especially citrus ones like orange or grapefruit juice, can also be problematic for some people late in the evening. Their acidity can irritate the bladder, leading to increased urgency, while a small amount with dinner is likely fine. Having a large glass closer to bedtime might be contributing to your nighttime issues. So, what's the actionable step here? It's not about dehydration, which is just as bad for overall health. The key is timing and type. Try to significantly reduce or eliminate caffeine and alcohol intake, especially in the late afternoon and evening. Think of a cutoff time, maybe 4 or 5 p.m., after which you switch to non-caffeinated, non-alcoholic beverages. Water is generally fine. But even with water, consider moderating your intake in the couple of hours right before bed. You don't need to stop drinking entirely, but consciously reducing the volume of any liquid in the 2 to 3 hours leading up to sleep can make a noticeable difference. Sip water if you're thirsty, but avoid chugging large amounts. Pay attention to how different drinks affect you. Some people are more sensitive to certain beverages than others. Keeping a simple log for a few nights might help you identify patterns. Did you have soda after dinner? More trips to the bathroom. Did you switch to just water? Fewer trips. It requires a little bit of self-experimentation, but the payoff in terms of sleep quality can be huge. Now, it's easy to focus only on what you drink, but what you eat in the evening can also play a significant role. This brings us to another habit: consuming certain foods late at night. Just like some drinks, certain foods can irritate the bladder or contribute to filling it more quickly. Spicy foods are a common culprit. That late-night curry or spicy snack might taste great going down, but the compounds that give them their kick can also irritate the bladder lining, increasing urgency and frequency, similar to acidic juices or alcohol. So, if you're prone to nighttime trips, maybe rethink those fiery snacks after dinner. Similarly, highly acidic foods like tomatoes and tomato-based products, think pasta sauce, pizza consumed late in the evening can have a similar irritating effect on the bladder for some men. While they are healthy foods, the timing might matter if you're struggling with nighttime urinary issues. It's not about avoiding them entirely, but perhaps enjoying them earlier in the day or in smaller quantities with your evening meal, rather than as a late-night snack. Processed foods, especially those high in artificial sweeteners or preservatives, can also be bladder irritants for some people. Think about those packaged snacks, desserts, or even some processed meats. They often contain ingredients that the body processes differently. And for sensitive individuals, this can manifest as increased bladder activity overnight. Opting for simpler, whole foods for an evening snack if you need one is usually a safer bet. Even seemingly innocent foods high in water content, like certain fruits, watermelon, grapes, or vegetable celery, while healthy, can contribute to bladder filling if consumed in large quantities right before bed. Again, it's not about avoiding these nutritious foods altogether, but being mindful of when and how much you eat in the hours leading up to sleep. A small apple might be fine, but eating half a watermelon at 9 p.m. is likely going to have you up later. The actionable takeaway here is to be mindful of your late-night snacking habits. If you must have a snack in the evening, choose something gentle on the bladder. Plain yogurt, a small handful of nuts, a slice of whole grain toast, or a banana are often better choices than spicy foods, acidic fruits, or processed snacks. And just like with drinks, timing is crucial. Try to finish eating your final meal or snack at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to bed. This gives your body time to digest and process fluids and food, reducing the likelihood of your bladder filling rapidly once you're trying to sleep. It's about giving your system a chance to settle down before you ask it to be quiet all night. Being conscious of both what and when you consume in the evening is a powerful first step towards a more peaceful night for you and your prostate. Now that we've looked at how late-night drinks and certain foods can impact your nighttime prostate issues, let's move on to something else you might not have considered: your sleep position. Moving on from what goes into your body to how you position it, let's talk about the third habit that could be affecting your prostate and nighttime bathroom trips: your sleep position. This might sound a little strange at first. How can simply lying down a certain way make a difference? But it can. And it ties into how your body manages fluid distribution and pressure overnight. For many men, especially those with an enlarged prostate, fluid tends to accumulate in the lower legs and feet during the day, due, in part, to gravity. When you lie down flat at night, this fluid gradually redistributes throughout your body, including increasing blood flow back to your kidneys. Your kidneys then start producing more urine as they process this returned fluid. This is a normal physiological process. But when you combine it with an already compromised urinary flow due to an enlarged prostate, it can lead to that frustrating cycle of filling your bladder more quickly while you're trying to sleep. Some studies and anecdotal evidence suggest that certain sleeping positions might exacerbate this fluid redistribution and subsequent increase in urine production. Specifically, lying flat on your back might make this process more pronounced compared to other positions. Why? When you're flat, the fluid can more easily return to the core of your body, including the kidneys. This can lead to a higher volume of urine being produced overnight. Now, there's a position that some experts recommend trying to mitigate this effect: sleeping on your side, particularly your left side. Sleeping on your side, especially with your legs slightly elevated or bent, can potentially help reduce the amount of fluid that rushes back to your kidneys all at once. Some people find that sleeping on their side with a pillow between their knees helps maintain this position comfortably and can even help with lower back pain. The theory is that this position might slightly reduce the direct pressure on the bladder or alter the fluid dynamics in a way that slows down the rate of urine production overnight compared to lying completely flat on your back. Another technique related to this is elevating your legs for a period before you even get into bed, spending 20 to 30 minutes in the evening with your legs elevated above heart level, perhaps by lying on a sofa with your feet propped up on pillows, can help some of that accumulated fluid from your legs return to your circulation and be processed by your kidneys before you go to sleep. This way, you might get rid of some of that excess fluid before you lie down for the night, potentially reducing the volume your kidneys have to process while you're sleeping. It's like getting a head start on your nighttime fluid management. This isn't a guaranteed fix for everyone, but it's a simple, non-invasive habit you can try to see if it makes a difference for you. Combining this pre-bed leg elevation with trying a side sleeping position could offer a two-pronged approach to managing nighttime fluid buildup. It's worth experimenting with your sleep position to see if it has any impact on your nighttime awakenings. If you're currently a back sleeper, try consciously shifting to your side. Use pillows to support yourself and make the position comfortable. It might take a few nights to get used to. But paying attention to whether you notice any reduction in the frequency of nighttime trips can be very informative. Remember, small adjustments to your routine can sometimes yield surprising results. Moving on to the fourth habit. This one is less about what you put into your body or how you position it, and more about your evening wind-down routine and exposure to stimuli using electronic devices with screens late at night. Now, you might think, what does checking emails on my tablet or scrolling through social media on my phone have to do with my prostate? It's not a direct physical link, but it's all about your sleep quality and your body's hormonal regulation. Exposure to the blue light emitted from screens on phones, tablets, computers, and even some e-readers can interfere with your body's production of melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. It signals to your brain that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. When you're exposed to blue light in the evening, especially in the hour or two before bed, it suppresses melatonin production. Your brain thinks it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. How does this relate to your prostate and nighttime urination? Poor sleep quality and fragmented sleep can make you more aware of your bodily signals, including the urge to urinate. If you're in a deep restorative sleep stage, your brain is better able to suppress the signals from your bladder until it's quite full. However, if your sleep is light, disrupted, or you're tossing and turning because you can't fall asleep, you're much more likely to be woken up by a less intense bladder signal. Essentially, poor sleep lowers your threshold for being woken by the urge to go. Think about it on a night when you sleep deeply. You might only wake up once or not at all on a night when you're stressed, restless, or you used screens late. You might find yourself up 3 or 4 times. It's not necessarily that your bladder is filling what more throughout the night. It's that your brain isn't allowing you to sleep through the filling process as effectively. The lack of deep sleep, partly due to screen exposure, makes you a lighter sleeper, more easily disturbed by that growing pressure in your bladder. Furthermore, Chronic sleep deprivation or consistently poor sleep quality can disrupt other hormonal balances in the body and increase overall stress levels. Stress and anxiety can also impact bladder function and increase the feeling of urgency. So, that late-night screen time creates a cascade effect. It messes with your melatonin, harms your sleep quality, makes you more sensitive to bladder signals, and potentially increases stress, all of which can contribute to more nighttime bathroom trips. The actionable step here is to create a screen-free buffer zone before bed. Aim to put away all electronic devices with screens at least 1 hour, preferably 2 hours. Before you plan to go to sleep, replace screen time with relaxing activities that don't involve bright, blue light-emitting displays. Read a physical book. Listen to calming music or a podcast. Take a warm bath. Do some gentle stretching. Or simply talk with your partner. Create a relaxing evening routine that signals to your body and brain that it's time to wind down. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep, free from the glow of screens. If you absolutely must, use a screen in the evening. Many devices now have night shift or blue light filter settings that reduce the blue light emission. While these help, avoiding screens altogether is the most effective strategy. Prioritizing healthy sleep hygiene by minimizing late-night screen exposure can significantly improve your sleep quality, which, in turn, can reduce the frequency of those disruptive nighttime bathroom visits. It's a habit that benefits your entire body, including your prostate and bladder function overnight. Finally, let's consider the fifth night habit that can impact your prostate's nighttime behavior: the timing of your diuretic medications. If you take them. Many people over 60 take medications for conditions like high blood pressure or heart failure that have a diuretic effect, meaning they help your body get rid of excess fluid by increasing urine production. These medications are often crucial for managing these health conditions, and you should absolutely never stop taking them or change their timing without talking to your doctor first. However, the timing of when you take them can make a significant difference in whether their diuretic effect is peaking during the day when it's convenient, or overnight when it's disruptive to your sleep. If you're taking a diuretic medication and you're experiencing frequent nighttime urination, it's worth discussing the timing of your dose with your doctor. Often, these medications are prescribed to be taken in the morning. Taking them earlier in the day allows the main diuretic effect to occur during your waking hours, so you can manage the increased need to urinate relatively easily. However, sometimes, for various reasons, people might take them later in the day, closer to the evening. If you take a diuretic in the late afternoon or evening, its peak effect might coincide perfectly with your sleep time, leading to a significant increase in urine production while you're in bed. Even if you take it in the morning, sometimes the effect can linger. Or perhaps you take a medication that requires multiple doses throughout the day. If one of those doses is in the late afternoon, that could still be contributing to your nighttime issues. The key here is communication with your healthcare provider. If you're taking a diuretic and struggling with nocturia, the medical term for frequent nighttime urination, bring it up at your next appointment. Ask if the timing of your medication could be a contributing factor. In many cases, simply adjusting the time you take the dose, perhaps taking it a little earlier in the day, can make a world of difference in reducing nighttime bathroom trips. Your doctor can advise you on the best timing for your specific medication and health condition. Do not make this change on your own. It's essential to get professional medical advice, but it's a conversation worth having if you suspect your medication timing might be playing a role. This isn't a habit in the same way as choosing a drink or snack, but it's a part of your daily routine that happens in the evening and can profoundly impact your night. Being proactive in discussing this with your doctor is an actionable step that can potentially resolve a significant source of nighttime disturbance. So, we've talked about several evening habits that can influence your prostate and nighttime urinary symptoms. We've discussed how late-night drinks, particularly caffeine and alcohol, act as diuretics and irritate the bladder, increasing the urge to go. We covered how certain foods, like spicy or acidic ones, and even the timing of watery foods, can contribute to bladder irritation or filling. We explored the impact of sleep position, suggesting that trying a side position or elevating your legs before bed might help manage fluid redistribution overnight. We also delved into the detrimental effects of late-night screen time on sleep quality and how poor sleep makes you more sensitive to bladder signals. leading to more awakenings. Finally, we touched upon the importance of discussing the timing of diuretic medications with your doctor, as taking them too late in the day can significantly increase nighttime urine production. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you start thinking about all these different factors. You might think, oh dear, I do all of that. But remember, this isn't about making drastic changes overnight or trying to become perfect. It's about awareness and making small, manageable adjustments that can add up to a big difference. The key is to identify which of these habits might be most relevant to you, and then experiment with changing just 1 or 2 things at a time. Maybe start by focusing on your evening drinks for a week. Swap that evening soda or glass of wine for plain water or a non-caffeinated herbal tea well before bedtime. See if that helps. If it does, great. If not, maybe look at your late-night snacks. Are you reaching for chips or a spicy treat? Try replacing it with something milder. Or maybe you're already careful about drinks and food. And the next step is trying that leg elevation technique before bed for a few nights. Listen to your body and observe the effects of these changes. What works for one person might not work exactly the same way for another. The important thing is to be proactive and willing to try making some adjustments to your evening routine. These aren't just tips for your prostate. Many of these habits, like improving sleep hygiene and being mindful of what and when you eat and drink, are beneficial for your overall health and well-being as you get older. Better sleep alone has a ripple effect on everything from your mood and energy levels to your cognitive function. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. It can take some time for your body to adjust. Be patient and consistent with the changes you decide to make. And please, remember that while these lifestyle adjustments can help manage symptoms, they are not a substitute for medical advice if you're experiencing significant or worsening urinary symptoms. It's crucial to talk to your doctor. They can properly diagnose any underlying conditions, like BPH, and recommend the most appropriate treatment plan for you, which might include medication or other interventions. These habits we've discussed are complementary strategies to support your overall health and potentially reduce the impact of prostate issues on your sleep. Taking steps to get better sleep and reduce nighttime bathroom trips can truly enhance your quality of life. You'll feel more rested, more energetic, and more able to enjoy your days. It's empowering to know that you have some control over these seemingly inevitable aspects of aging. By understanding the link between your evening habits and your prostate's behavior overnight, you can make informed choices that support your health and well-being. I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these tips before? Do you have other evening habits that you found affect your nighttime bathroom trips? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your wisdom could help someone else who is struggling with the same issues. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm providing valuable information and encourages me to create more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos packed with practical tips and advice for living your best life at every age. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Live your best life at every age.